Liz, it's 9:30. We can get started.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Liz Kukla. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and I'm going to read the preamble for you this morning, this September 19th, 2022. In compliance with notification requirements of the city's open meeting law in section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the city planning department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Call-in users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activity is being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We have provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on a particular case via our website and email. All requests to speak on a particular matter have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Can you call the roll, please?
Sure thing. Ms. Brown?
Present.
Ms. Holzer?
Present.
Ms. Faith?
Present.
Ms. Britt?
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Any postponements or withdrawals today?
We have one withdrawal that's on the screen before you. It's calendar number 22-112 regarding 3522 Clark Avenue. Charter Food Inc. proposed to establish a new Taco Bell at that address. The appellants have decided not to go forward with that variance.
All right.
And that's it.
Very great. I don't see any council people on the call, so we can start with our first case.
Great morning, everyone. Calendar number 22-154. This is at 6501 Denison Avenue. Rashida Properties proposes to install a 6-foot-high wooden fence in the actual rear yard running parallel to adjacent driveway in a C2 general retail business district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the public record and the agenda, of which there is one. And with that, I will hand it over to Ms. Brown for the oath.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply I do, then state your name and your address, please. Is the appellant for case 22-154 on the call? Please swear in.
Madam Chair, just a reminder that if you're on the telephone, you can hit *6 to unmute yourself. I do see one call-in user.
Okay, hearing none, we'll move to the next case.
All right, our next case is calendar number 22-155. This is at 17617 Sedalia Avenue. Cassie Marie Leeton-Kalan, owner, proposes to erect approximately 15 linear feet of 5 feet 6 inch tall wooden fence and gate in an A1 one-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the public record and the agenda, of which there is one. And with that, I will hand it over to Ms. Brown for the oath.
Thank you. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
Not again.
Well, this is unusual.
Very.
Okay.
All right, moving along.
All right, our next case is calendar number 22-157. This is at 4351 West 191st Street. Giovanna Rojas proposes to install approximately 3 linear feet of 6-foot-high fence in an A1 one-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the public record and the agenda, of which there is one. And with that, I will hand it over again to Ms. Brown for the oath.
All right. I think we're going to have good luck this time. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do, state your name, and then your address, please.
I do. My name is Giovanna Roa. Address 4351 West 191.
Thank you. And the person next to you, are you going to swear in as well?
I do. Paolo Diaz, 4351 West 191st Street. I'm her son.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Only the two of us. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In our Records Administration Office, we found that in 1950, a permit was issued to erect a single family dwelling. 1958, a permit was issued to erect a garage and a breezeway addition. And then, Madam Chair, there were no variances on file and nothing of note in the more recent history. Thank you.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the fencing regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Rojas, tell us what you like to do.
Mother doesn't speak English. If I can
Okay.
talk for her.
No problem. Go ahead.
Well, we would like to build a fence 6 feet high. It will be like a L shape just to close our yard. It will be connected to our garage. Due to we have people trespassing to our backyard, we had to install cameras attached to our garage for security. It's most likely for security or fence. Other than that,
And what kind of fence are you gonna use here?
it's going to be a wooden fence. The panels that you see look like a mesh is going to be vinyl, so
Okay.
you will be able to see through. No, that's it, really.
All right. Yeah, this seems kind of simple. Maurice?
Yes, Madam Chair. To the applicant, did you say you can see through the fence?
And you can.
So in the meshed area here that's on the screen now, you'll be able to see through all of that?
Correct.
So Madam Chair, just wanted to clarify that. Normally, as you know, we would ask them to
Here.
remove 2 segments and cut the corner. I even put the red arrows here on the drawing, but I guess I'm not sure if the fact that the fence is mostly transparent, if that's necessary.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. That if they're using the fence that we just saw there, I think you can see through that fairly well without removing any of it. So,
Yes, so I would recommend approval with, as long as they use the fence that's detailed in the application, yes.
all right. Board, any questions?
Madam Chair, I do. I'm reading on the diagram that it's wood and vinyl. That looked like mesh, so I just wanted to affirm the materials.
Yeah, I don't know really like how to explain it. I think it's like a grid design. I say mesh just because that's for me, I guess. But yeah, the grid design that you see the X looking, that's
Yes.
vinyl. That everything will be built for me. Everything is wood, 2x4s, 4x4s, and just the thing in the middle, the grid design, that's just vinyl.
Okay, it's attractive compared to what we see. So thank you very much for being so thoughtful in
Yeah.
designing this.
No problem.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all, Ms. Brown?
That's it for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board?
Hearing no other questions, Madam Chair, I'll go ahead with the motion. It looks like perhaps we like this fence a lot. There may be a future for the appellant's son in the fencing business with this. So it fulfills a lot of our needs, being open, but still providing security. So, and it sounds like security is a number one issue with this homeowner. So hearing that we have approval from city planning and we all seem to like the fence, I move that we go ahead and approve this variance.
You can have a second.
Member Brown, I second.
Brown with the second. Go ahead, call the roll, please.
Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Bae,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar 22-157 is granted. It'll be ratified next week, and then we will send the appellant a letter.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck with the fence. It's a very nice fence.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, next case.
All right. This is calendar number 22-134 at 6015 Linwood Avenue. There are a series of Public Works invoice numbers. Would you like me to read them all?
That's on you. I wouldn't want to read all those, so.
Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Public Works invoice numbers associated with this case. Norman Brown appeals under the authority of Section 76-6B of the Charter of the City of Cleveland and Section 329.02D of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances from the decision of the hearing officer dated May 25th, 2022, to uphold the City of Cleveland's Department of Public Works to issue the 5 listed invoice numbers, as you can see in the public record in the agenda. Let's see, regarding abating nuisances, parenthetically, grass cutting at the subject property. This case was originally postponed on August 15th due to city staff scheduling conflicts. And with that, I will hand it over to Ms. Brown for the oath.
I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply, I do. Thank you. Then state your name and address.
I do. Natasha Brewster, 500 Lakeside Avenue.
I do. Ariel Culp, 601 Lakeside.
No, not another missing appellant.
I do, Madam Chair, I do see a Norman Brown logged in.
Okay.
You may be having troubles with his audio.
Maybe he could call in. Want to tell him that option?
I think calling user 2 is
That's
Ms.
me.
Brewster. Yeah,
Yes.
I thought so.
No, I'm saying Mr. Brown, if he's having trouble with his audio
Oh.
on his computer.
Good point. Yes. Mr. Brown, if you can't get in, if we can't hear you, you might want to just use your phone. Oh, I see. You just need to unmute yourself at this point. The unmute button should be at the bottom of your screen.
Okay, looks
Yeah,
like
that-
some technical difficulties still. Can someone try to get in contact with him? Maybe we'll move to the next one, and then if I mean I can see his name, so clearly he's here. So like you said, he just may be having some technical difficulties. So we'll move to the next case, and then we'll see if we can get that squared away with him, and then come back.
Our next case is calendar number 22-132. This is at 7407 Union Avenue. TMS Enterprises proposes to establish a used car lot in a C2 local business district. The appellant appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the public record and the agenda, of which there are 4. This case has been reinstated from August 8th, 2022. The appellant originally missed the hearing due to a medical emergency. And with that, I will hand it over to Ms. Brown for the oath.
I am swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
Thomas Sullivan, 7407 Union Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44105.
I do. Chris Alvarado, Slavic Village Development, 5620 Broadway Avenue, 44127.
I do. Nicole Calhoun, City Planning Commission, 601 Lakeside.
Attorney James Zafiro for the movement. We also have Eddie Miller, who has filed the application. Oh, there he goes. He just unmuted.
I do. Eddie Miller, 7407 Union Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44105.
Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please. Liz, maybe she's helping with.
She's probably assisting the technical difficulties.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't.
What was the question?
We need the history of the property.
Oh, yes. Hold on one moment. I was on the phone with one of the other opponents. We're talking about Union? Okay. The property was originally zoned semi-industry in 1929. In 1937, it was placed in the general retail business district. In 2013, it was changed to the local retail business district. In our records administration office, we found that in 1922, a permit was issued to erect a store and a 2-dwelling structure. There is one variance on file in calendar 03-144. A variance was granted to establish use as a used car sales facility and erect a new 1-story building. The variance was granted with the understanding that the appellant will follow the recommendations of the Development Corporation pertaining to the inclusion of ornamental trees in the landscape plan, one in the front and 3 to the side, and also to install in-ground landscaping. Madam Chair, I did not find any indication that that there was a permit issued on that. So I'm not sure how that transpired. But we did find in the more recent history that in September of last year, double check, make sure that's correct. September last year, there was a fire and there were subsequent board up permits issued. In fact, one of them mentioned a condemnation. And then in January of this year, an application was made to demolish a 2-story structure on site. But that the status states that its inspection is pending on that. That's all that I have for you this morning. I apologize that it took me a minute to hear you. Thanks.
No problem. And what number was the previous variance again?
2003, so that's calendar number 03-144.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
that
thank
was
you.
issued in October of that year, or the variance was granted in October of that year.
All right, thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting a use variance and area variances from the transition strip, parking, and frontage strip regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship particular to the property such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. Okay, who will be the spokesperson for this case?
Mr. Miller is going to begin.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Miller.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eddie Miller, and I've been running a used car lot on that piece of property for 12 years now. It was a car lot for 10 years before I moved there. So I feel that I can't operate off that property. What am I supposed to do about my family? How am I supposed to support my family? I help everybody in the neighborhood that I can when possible. So I really don't see what am I supposed to do if you guys want to zone this property?
Okay, can your attorney, we need some background information on what's going on here. I understand his personal position, but we need to know like what's happening, what the history of this is, we get some more background information.
I'm gonna let the property owner fill you in.
My name's Tommy Sullivan, and I don't know why you do not have, you cannot find the permits, because all the necessary permits were filed. And if you go to the beginning, when I went in front of the BZA, it was continued at the request of the Slavic Village Development, who I met with Barb and Ben Campbell, and I still have all the documentation, and I satisfied and pulled permits for everything that they wanted me to change and requested. I do to get my permit issued, my occupancy permit issued. It wasn't to erect a garage, it was to raise a garage, it was to tear down an existing garage that was done. Secondly, I also invested over $18,000 specifically to satisfy all those requirements to be granted permit. I worked with the Slavic Development Group, the councilman Anthony Brancatelli, Judge Bianca, and that property was a model of what this future city parking lots and used car lots would look like with their pear trees and their required landscaping and fencing. I did everything I was supposed to do and complied. It's only because of, I found out later with this after the fire that due to a clerical error that I wasn't granted the occupancy permit. So I would like to go over my bullet points here. That one, the BZA already granted me the change of use for this property, and then I complied with everything that needed to be done. I worked with the city of Cleveland Building Department, Anthony Brancatelli, Ben Campbell, and Barb of the Slavic Development Group, and invested over $18,000 to complete that project. I was actually praised by Judge Bianca for my investment into the property. I was promised by the city of Cleveland Building Department, Anthony Brancatelli, and the Slavic Development Group that I would receive my occupancy permit when I completed everything that I did.
Okay, Mr. Sullivan, hold on a second. I'm getting a little confused here. So this is currently your lot and Mr. Miller is leasing from you, or are you trying to sell this to Mr. Miller? I'm kind of confused on ownership here.
I moved my business out years ago. Mr. Miller has been the tenant there for 12 years.
Okay.
So what we're trying to accomplish is move is the day before this unfortunate fire, it was occupied as a used car lot for 20 years, as Mr. Miller shared with you. Of that 12 years, he's been there. What we're trying to do is just pick up and continue. And we applied for a temporary use for a trailer until new plans could be submitted for a new office building garage for him to occupy and continue his business. What I'd say is, if you don't grant this variance today, what you're saying is you don't care that I already invested $18,000 to satisfy the city requirements to have that already a legal permitted used car lot, and you're preventing me from investing more money and building a new property when the cost of construction has never been higher for Mr. Miller to continue. And if you don't grant this variance, the city is taking my property and rendering it useless. With the change of zoning, there hasn't been one new business that's opened on Union Avenue and one new permit issued since 2003 when I pulled that permit. And then lastly, again, to reiterate what Mr. Miller said, he's occupied there for 12 years and built his business and been a service community, and you'd be putting him out of business.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Calhoun from the city, can you speak about what city planning's position is here?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Currently, I spoke with Councilman Griffin, who is the councilman for this area. He does not approve of this use. Some of this information is very new to me because I have not heard about it, nor have they reached out to me as the planner for this area about this. So I'm not sure what he means with Council Brancatelli. That's a little confusing to me because Council Griffin is the council person. He does not support. I'd like to yield to Slavic Village.
Yeah, I think he was referring to at the time in 2003 when he started this, which Brancatelli probably was at that point. But go ahead, Mr. Alvarado.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, you are correct. Under the previous districting, Councilman Brancatelli was the councilman for this particular part of Broadway Slavic Village. I've been here since 2014. as has Ms. Marilyn Mashinsky, who's the new Director of Business Development. So I do understand that Mr. Sullivan has spoken to our predecessors, both on council as well as with Slavic Village Development. Now, looking back, I can see that in 2007, the landscaping that Mr. Sullivan references was indeed in place, that there was a very nice fence, that there were trees around the perimeter, and that the landscaping was kept up. However, for the last several years, and you can just go back to, you can go to Google Street View to see the condition of the property since 2007, and things began going downhill for a while. And as of the condition that you see here on these photos has been pretty much what you've seen since at least 2016 or so. We do encourage for there to be good relationship between us and the businesses. We would like this corner lot to be in good condition. However, my concerns are one that Mr. Sullivan has not reached out to us to work with us on this property or with the councilman, but also that there has been a distinct lack of investment in the property for at least 8 years since I've been here at Slavic Village Development. Furthermore, while we would like to see a permanent structure built on the site, judging by the adjacent parcel to the west that is owned by Mr. Sullivan, parcel number 125355100, that has had a trailer on site as an office since at least 2007, if not earlier. We don't think it's appropriate to put a trailer on the sites. We want to see investment, certainly, but we cannot recommend the approval of this variance given the condition of the property, both this one that the appellant is bringing forward as well as the adjacent property to the west, nor can we approve or recommend approval based on a lack of communication with us and with the councilman.
Can I interject there? You're false with that statement. That trailer was worked with the Slavic Development Group at 7309, but it does bring up, let me reiterate, it's a temporary use for the trailer for 7407 until a new building can get erected. That's what I am want to do. I also do want to put a new building with a proposed car wash at 7309, but that is would be for another variance meeting. So yes.
Okay,
Mr.
Sullivan, hold on one second here. Mr. Alvarado, do you feel that it's necessary to have some kind of meeting of the minds about this property before everyone wants to come up with a judgment here, or do you just feel like you won't approve this at all, or do you just feel like everyone needs to come together in a room and talk about it first?
I would welcome a meeting to put heads together. I don't want to dismiss things out of hand. I will also just raise a statement with regard to the lack of investment. We have had investment along Broadway, including the renovation of historic properties, along Union, including the renovation of historic property over on 6600 Union. So we're more than happy to work with Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Miller, and others on putting together a development plan for the property.
Okay, Mr. Sullivan, are you amenable to I feel like everyone needs to meet. You've been in the room with the previous, council person and previous folks from Slavic Village, but not the current ones, as well as the city planning representative. So I feel like if all of you all get in a room, that, maybe you all can figure out something, considering that, this use was approved at some point. So that maybe that'll be beneficial for you if you could do that. Are you amenable to a meeting?
I am, and I look forward to working with the Slavic Development Group. And as I believe Mr. Alvarado stated, the Broadway development qualifies for money. Union Avenue doesn't qualify for money. That's what I went through in 03. I was first indicated that would have been storefront renovation money available to me, and then it was not. That's a strict and 100% investment by myself, which again, the future development seems like it'll be that way as well, and that's what I want to do. Granting the temporary variance permit today is going to allow Eddie Miller to continue to be in business and allow the city to allow us to go forward with hooking up utilities to the temporary trailer. The temporary trailers are not.
Mr. Sullivan, we would have to postpone the case until you met with Slavic Village, the council person, as well as city planning, to try to come up with a actual, development plan for this lot. So this case will have to be postponed today until you all have that meeting.
Excuse me.
Still punishing Mr. Miller.
Am I allowed to speak?
Go ahead, Mr. Miller.
But okay, while you guys are postponing the meeting and everything, I can't get a temporary permit. How am I supposed to feed my family? I have 6 kids and 11 grandkids. What am I supposed to do about my family and my livelihood? There can't be a temporary permit and like a time frame for to get the work done so I can still operate and support myself?
I don't think we can do those. Liz, we don't do the temporary for uses, right?
No, not that I'm aware of, unless that's something the Building and Housing does. Mr. Riccardi is on the line. If he could speak to the prosecution of this type of in between, whether or not Building and Housing would go out and or take this person to housing court. I'm not sure that what happens at this point.
Mr. Riccardi?
This is Richard. Any application for a temporary permit would run into the exact same zoning issues. You don't get a preemption from the Cleveland zoning code if you're doing a used car lot temporarily. So that's not the solution.
Historically been a used car lot. It's been a used car lot since 2003 or prior. It's not changing anything. The only thing that changed was the fire, which destroyed the building.
No, I understand everything you're saying, Mr. Sullivan, but I feel like the best outcome for everyone is for you guys to get in a room and meet about what's the best course of action to continue. We as the board members, we have to get all the information up front so that we can give you a fair ruling. And I feel like at this point, you wouldn't get that because we don't have all the information. So I feel like it would be better for you all to meet with Slavic Village and the city planning and the council person to make sure that everything is the way it needs to be before it comes to us. If you want to proceed and have a ruling, that's your right to ask us to do that. But I'm just trying to help you out. And I think that having that meeting will work out better for you.
We definitely want to have a meeting. We just want to be able to Mr. Miller in business until we are able to resolve it.
That part I can't control, but I can postpone this so that we don't make a ruling today and that you all can meet up. Ms. Calhoun and Mr. Alvarado, can you all please make sure that you guys can meet up with Mr. Miller and Mr. Sullivan to try to see how we can resolve these situations. And Liz, I need a date.
Okay. Now, how quickly do we want to turn it around? We could squeeze it on October 10th. October 17th would be the following week. October 24th would be the week after that.
Mr. Alvarado, how quickly you feel like you can get a meeting together?
I think we're gonna have a hard time getting a meeting together this week. We can certainly get one together next week, which may give enough time for a hearing on the 10th. That is, of course, dependent on the availability of not only Ms. Calhoun, but also the councilman. He definitely wants to be involved in this.
Okay. Yeah, considering you need to link in the council person as well, let's just make it the 17th. That'll give you enough time. And then hopefully most things can be resolved before you even get here, and then it'll be fairly quick.
That's our hope.
All right, great. All right, so we'll postpone this till October 17th, and we'll hear everything then. Thank you very much.
Hey,
Madam Chair, may I make a comment?
Sure.
Maurice flashed the site plan a while ago very quickly, and it does not appear to meet the requirements for screening, which seems as though Mr. Sullivan did at one point. And I suggest when they come back that they pay careful attention to the zoning requirements.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. I think with the help of Slavic Village and Ms. Calhoun, I believe they'll have all that satisfied before they come back here. But thank you for that suggestion.
Mr. Alvarado, can I have your email address and your telephone number, please?
Absolutely. My email address is Chris A, that's CHRIS A at slavicvillage.org. Or you could reach me by phone at 216-429-1182, extension 128. That's 429-1182, extension 128. I think I've got an email address for you as tmillersullivan@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, you'll be hearing from us.
Phone number 216-357-0547. And Monday the 10th works perfect for me for a meeting, and I'm sure Mr. Miller can attend that.
Okay, thank you guys for being amenable for the meeting. So hopefully you all can get all that handled, and we'll see you back here on 10/17. Thank you.
Real quickly, Madam Chair, I think we said
Yes.
the 17th, not the 10th. Is that correct?
Yes, for the hearing. Yes, 10/17.
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. We able to get Mr. Brown squared away?
Hello?
What? Say what?
Oh, Mr. Brown?
Good morning.
Okay, we got him on. All right. Okay, I don't think we got to the actual swearing in. So Ms. Brown, we had Natasha Brewster, Ms. Koch, and then now we need Mr. Brown. So go ahead with the oath, please.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
I do. Norman Brown. I use the P.O. Box. It's 1474 Stowe, Ohio.
Okay. Yes. Did the people from City Hall swear in, ma'am?
Yes.
I think they did. I don't remember. That's pretty sad because that was only like 15.
I did. I think Natasha did too.
All right. Well then, Madam Chair, thank you all.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is appealing an administrative decision. The standard of review to be applied is whether the administrative decision was illegal, arbitrary, capricious, unreasonable, or unsupported by the preponderance of substantial, reliable, and probative evidence. If the appellant fails to meet this burden, the administrative decision must be affirmed.
All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Brown.
Excuse me. When the meeting was first set up, to meet with the city. They didn't know, well, they sent a letter to my P.O. box, which I didn't receive it in time because I only check the mailbox every 2 or 3 weeks unless I'm expecting something important. Usually they take forever to send something out. Anyway, it was set up on the same day at approximately the same time I had a doctor's appointment, which had been established like 3 months prior to that. So I couldn't change the doctor's appointment. If I had to change the doctor's appointment, it would have been 2 or 3 more months before I saw the doctor, which would have been not good. So anyway, they're trying to charge me $2,000 for work that was not worth $2,000. I submitted a claim where it comes out to be about $340 or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't have $2,000 to give them for work that they didn't do. They just look at the size of the lot and says, okay, we're charging $400. That's what the normal size lot would have been. And without saying, oh, there's trees there and houses there and whatever, because there's a fence with trees on I have 5 lots right together, which was my dad's property, but now it's mine. Anyway, people have been dumping stuff on my property. I put up signs that said "City do not cut," but then it don't matter. They come in there with a tractor and it just scrapes up the ground and tears up the grass and it half-ass cuts it. Pardon my French, but but they want to charge you 7 cents a square foot, which okay, I think that's a bit high, but what can I do about it? Anyway, I'm contesting that I can't pay $2,000 for some work that they only, in my opinion, is only worth $340 or whatever.
So you're not contesting the fact that they cut the high grass. You're contesting the amount of money.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Brewster, you want to chime in on this?
Yes, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 properties, and I spoke with Mr. Norman about his doctor's appointment, which he had a chance. We give a chance for a reschedule. I didn't receive any information as far as the reschedulement. A hearing was set out for May 25th. 2022 for 9:45 for these 5 cases. He did not call, nor did he show up after this was sent out or sent in the documentations of a doctor's appointment to be rescheduled. So they were denied at that point. And as we all know, the 7 cent is for everyone. It's not just for this particular property, and it goes off the measurements of this property for the services that was done by the city of Cleveland.
So Ms. Brewster, are these really large lots that the fee would come up to that much, or is it because over time not being paid? Is there like fees added? I'm kind of confused on how it got to $2,000.
No, they're not two. He's combining all 5 of them.
Okay.
The address 6003 Linwood. That lot is $440. The lot on 6015 Linwood, that lot is $440. They might all have the same. They might be all the same equal size because they're all side by side. And yes, they are. All of the parcels are equally measured as the same size, and all 5 of the bills equals $40.40 a piece.
400.
And as of
So
this
each
month,
lot,
I think they are go on the taxes as of this month.
are they already, because if they're already on, I don't think we can interfere with that. Are they, I need to know that for a fact if they're
Okay, I'll check
being
just
added
a
to his
second.
taxes, yeah.
Ma'am, 40 or 400?
$400.40.
Thank you.
Yeah, per lot, and he has 5, that's why it's.
Yes.
But she said 40,
So,
that's why I wanted.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry,
No,
but Ariel,
no
could you
problem.
chime in and let them know if it's when will it be, when will it go on their taxes, or have it already been assessed to the taxes, please?
I'm checking my listing now for these invoices. So just give me a moment. It's 104. For 1981, I see one was sent to the county just this month for parcel 104-19081. One charge for parcel 104-19084. What's this one? 1850.
So question, if they're in process to the county, is that something we can intervene with, or is that out the door? I know once it gets assessed, then that's out of our purview. But I don't know if Liz or someone else can chime in on that.
This is Liz. I don't have the answer to that. I'm not sure if Mary maybe would from the law department.
I do not know.
If I may, to my understanding, if you did decide to overturn these invoices and directed Natasha to do so, once I got a letter about that from you, and
It will be an adjustment to the price. Once you all send me the letter, I'll have to make an adjustment to send it over to License and Assessments to adjust the price if that is the case for today.
Yeah.
Okay, so as long as, yeah, that was really my question about if it's in transit, can we stop it? Or, if it's already at the county and assessed, I know we can't. So it sounds as if it's not in the county's hands just yet.
I think 3 of them is, 2 of them not that I looked up so far. I don't know if license assessments are getting to the other 2 since they're all around the same date. So 3 of them are already assessed to the taxes and 2 are not.
Right.
So we're actually looking at, we have control over about $1,000 right now.
Yes. Nearly.
Madam Chair, this is Liz.
Yes.
I'm not sure if we asked the question directly to the city, but does the city have the ability to pull those back once they go to the county? Can they be rescinded, or can they be reduced at that point?
Yes, once I receive the letter from you all letting me know that the adjustment is approved, I can do it.
I would take care of it from my end once I get the information from both those. Public Works, then I would let the county know about the adjustment.
Okay. All right, well, that's good to know. All right, I'll open it up to the board for any questions.
I do have a question for Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, do you maintain these lots? Do you have a regular schedule for having them cut and to monitor whether trees have fallen? Your PO is in Stowe, which is quite a ways away. So I don't know if you come to physically see your property or if you have someone else as a caretaker.
Good question. Now, I try to maintain the property myself. I usually try to cut the grass at least once a month. As far as the fallen tree, I took care of that. I cut it up and got it out of the way. But my thing is how can you charge me for something that they didn't do? That is my concern. I'm not saying I'm not complaining that they did cut the grass. But they're charging me for work that they didn't do. I'm a senior. I'm 76. I'm on a senior a fixed income.
Mr. Brown, excuse me for interrupting, but the city says that they charge everybody the same price, and the owner is actually responsible. So the city only steps in when you're not keeping it to the standard. And if you're only cutting once a month, it's very likely that you'll have this problem again. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm concerned that whatever we resolve is not the end of it. So you may need to consider caretaking for your responsibility at this property or the future disposition of the property. But if you're only cutting it once a month, I can envision a problem again.
Well, I'll try to cut it maybe every 2 or 3 weeks instead of every once a month.
Sounds better.
But the problem is that the city will come in and they'll cut the grass in the rain. They'll cut it if it's wet. I have a riding mower, but I can't afford to cut grass when it's wet because that's hard on my lawnmower. And
Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown, we're not telling you when to, like, in what conditions to cut the grass, but that you just need to keep up the grass cutting so that you can avoid having these issues later on. So that's what Ms.
I
Brown was
understand
trying
what
to
you're
let you
saying.
know. Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, but my issue with the month is with what they're charging me. And okay, if the whole lot was clear, there was no trees, no bushes, hedges, houses, garages, whatever, I could understand them charging $400.
Mr. Brown, you
would-
don't
they
get
would
to
cut the
debate
whole
that.
thing.
Mr.
If
Brown?
you're not, then how you charging me $400 for something that you didn't do?
Well, they did cut the grass, but Mr. Brown, you don't get to debate the price, right? The city charges everybody the same, and part of that price is to encourage homeowners to do it themselves or property owners. So, Madam Chair, my question has been answered. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board members?
Chair, I echo Ms. Brown's concerns about the ongoing upkeep of the property, and hopeful and not wanting Mr. Brown to end up in this situation going forward. So I hope that we cannot tell him what to do, but as Ms. Brown said, I hope he makes some plans for the caretaking of the property or the disposition of the property going forward. With that being said, in these situations, and being sensitive to Mr. Brown's age and income situation, we often reduce the amounts, and I would suggest that we apply that in this situation and reduce the amount owed by 50%.
Can I ask a question as well? In these cases, so beyond the reduction, are appellants, are they able to get in some sort of payment plan with the city, or is it just the reduction and that's the only option?
Yeah, we don't set up payment plans through BZA, so Ms. Brewster might be able to answer how they pay through, through her, but we don't set that up.
Sure.
That will be area and licensed assessors. I don't deal with any monies.
I can speak to that. If he does call in to our fiscal office, he can set up a payment plan. As long as he pays regularly, we will keep him on the plan.
And how long is the plan set up for?
Oh, I really couldn't speak to the details. I really don't
Okay.
handle payments. I
All
just
right.
know our fiscal office does.
Okay.
Thank you. I was just curious about what all options property owners have.
Good question, Ms. Holtz.
Absolutely.
All right, Ms. Faith, I tend to agree with your reduction of 50%. Can we have a motion for that, please?
Certainly. Madam Chair, in calendar number 22-134 that we have before us at the moment regarding parcels related to 6015 Linwood and the 5 Public Works invoices, I move that we reduce the amount owed to the city by 50%.
All right, and Ms. Brewster, can you give us the full total so we'll make sure that we have the number correct?
Right.
The total of all of them together?
Yes.
Yes.
$2,002 even.
All right, so get $1,000 for the fee owed.
Right, reduce it to $1,000 for the fee owed. And that would be the motion then with that stipulation.
Thank you, Ms. Faith. Can I have a second, please?
Board Member Holzer, second.
Ms. Holzer with the second. Go ahead, call the roll.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Ms. Faith,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar number 22-134 is granted conditionally. The fees have been reduced to $1,000. It'll be ratified next week and we will send the appellant a letter.
All right. All right, good luck, Mr. Brown. Try to get on a maintenance schedule so you don't have to come back here.
Still getting ripped off, but.
And be sure to
because-
set up the payment plan with the city. You need to physically go in, it sounds like, to the office to set that up, sir. So we would prefer not to have you have to come back to BZA again. So thank you.
It will take a few weeks to process, but he could actually call in to 216-664-3875 after we get all the information from BOZA and from Public Works. And
I can't hear you.
reduction.
Can you
Yeah,
give
Ms.
him-
Colt. Ms. Colt, can you say that phone number a little bit louder? Yeah, because I didn't hear it that well either.
Certainly sorry about that. It is 216-664-3875. But he will have to wait until we get all the paperwork from everybody and process that reduction.
All right. So, Mr. Brown, give it a couple of weeks before you call.
Did she take 216-664-2175?
No. No, it is 3875.
3875.
Yes.
And her name is,
And that is our fiscal office.
that's the what?
The
I
fiscal,
can barely hear
fiscal
her.
office. Yeah. It's the fiscal office. You just call that number and tell them once we get all the paperwork in. So give it a couple of weeks. And then call that number. It's the fiscal office, and then let them know you want to set up a payment plan.
That's the fiscal office.
Yes.
About 2 weeks. Okay,
Okay,
I'm
we
still
get
getting
any?
ripped off, but whatever.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brown. All right, do we get anyone from our two no-shows earlier today, Maurice?
I don't see anybody.
All right.
Everybody looks
Last
like
call
people we
for,
know.
yeah, last
Madam
call for
Chair?
calendar number
There's a
yes.
caller number 2. Do we know who that is?
Yeah, that's
That was Miss Brewster, I believe.
Brewster. Yeah.
Oh, he was on both? Okay.
No, Miss Brewster from the city. That was her.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
So Madam Chair, for Dennison, I was able to get the appellant on the phone. I gave him the number to call in, but I don't see that he has called in yet. He said there was a confusion. He thought there was a different person that was going to be logging in. So if you'd like me to, I could try calling him and we could do it through the phone that way. If you'd like to give me a couple minutes.
Yeah, I'm inclined not to, but
We'll give us a grace today, huh?
if
Yeah,
my
let me see
board's
if I-
okay with the grace, we'll go with the grace. But the
Okay,
other
let me-
case, 22-155, did we hear from them at all?
Not yet. Let me check my email. Called her and also sent her a link. Again. No, I don't, no. I haven't gotten any email back from her yet.
Okay, well, we will.
All right, let me call this person. Hold on one moment.
We want to do old business, can we, while we wait for Liz to reach that person?
That's a good idea. We'll do old business 1, 2, 4, and wait, I have a different one.
Yeah, that's what I got from
Yep,
last
sorry.
week.
Maurice, we have the, oh, I apologize. That's the correct one.
The one Maurice has up is the correct one?
You know, hold on, sir, I'm sorry. This is Liz from the Board of Zoning Appeals. I will patch in 1 second. Maurice, that's an old one. That's from last week.
That's what I thought.
Okay. I don't think I
All
have
right,
anything
so
else.
yeah, I
I'll
think
attach it really quickly.
all the board members have the right one, so we'll just hold off on that then until we can get the right one up on the screen.
Yeah, this was sent to me on Friday. Here, I found one. I can put this up on screen. Hold on. There you go.
There it is. All right, old business 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 without objection, board.
Without objection.
All righty.
Okay, and then there are notes down at the bottom about the training. I think I have 2 of you that are involved in that. That's a citywide thing. And then also the PZR workshop, I sent an email over to you. If the board members can check that out, I can also send the link. I may have attached the link, but that's coming up in October, and we do have the ability to send you to that training. If you could let me know if you're interested or not, and I can, if you could let me know right away, I need to send in the registration form for that. Thank you.
So the first one I responded to you that I needed the October date, Liz. And
I got it.
The second one is a more recent email
Yes.
that you sent out probably Friday, or
Yeah, I'm not sure which day it was, but it was
Okay.
probably late last week, so it might have been Friday.
okay. All right, I'll check that out and respond then.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that on your radar.
What's the date for that?
October 11th, because I'm on
Okay.
the planning committee, so I know exactly when that date
Okay.
is.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, we have the gentleman ready to go if you guys are ready to go.
Great.
All right. All right, so I believe we had everything except for the oath, correct?
Right.
All right.
Okay. I am swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do, state your name and your address.
Did you hear that, sir?
Yes, I do. My name is Ibrahim Faki.
Okay, can you guys hear him?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. to interrupt.
Address, please, and state I do.
I do. 5581 Quail Run, North Olmsted. That's my living address.
Perfect.
And can you spell your last name, please, sir?
Faki, F as in Frank, E-K-I-E-H.
All right. So we didn't get history, right? Because we didn't have them. Okay, so go ahead, the history department.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Madam Chair. The property was originally zoned semi-industry in 1929. In 1941, it was placed in the current zoning. Did find that in the Records Administration Office in 1967, a permit was issued to construct a service station. We have 2 variances on file. In calendar 90-126, a variance was granted to erect a double face identification sign. And then in calendar number 91-34, a permit was issued, a variance was granted in March of 1991 to erect a metal canopy over the existing pump island. And then in the more recent history, I don't see anything that is relevant, so I will turn it back to you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the fencing regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Faki, tell us what you'd like to do. Or it looks like it's already done, but what's going on here? Did you hear me?
And
Oh,
first,
I'm
there's a
sorry.
house behind us.
Sir, could you
And
repeat that? I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was,
No, no.
I'm sorry, I had the phone, I had the thing on mute. So if you could repeat that, go ahead.
Okay, so one day I was here at work. Let me just go back. There was a house right behind the gas station, and this house was abandoned, I guess, for a while. So they tore it down. tore it down. The company that tore it down, there was a fence, not a fence, like a greenery, bushes, which was high enough. It was a good 6 feet that we took care, that we had there forever. And it was in good shape. We always trimmed it and made it look like a fence. So when the city, whoever the city, provided to tear this down, they, I don't know why, they tore down the whole fence that was there already, existing fence. Okay, so now the empty lot to the back of our gas station is wide open. So we came one day and it's all gone. So one day the inspector comes in here and says that we need to put a fence there because there's no fence and it's the law, whatever. I'm like, okay, but the city, you guys tore the fence. There was a fence and you guys tore it down. And he had an attitude when we were, it's my problem now. I need to put a fence there. And it looks like there's more. He was telling me looks like there's more violations here that I can write you up for. So go ahead and I just, I was in my feelings and now it became our problem that we need to put a fence there. Me and my brother one day, my brother, he's from, he's a contractor in New York. He was visiting one day. We went and bought this stuff and we installed it on the weekend. So now I guess that I needed to get a permit. I wasn't aware of that. And this is where we at now.
Okay, so Maurice, is the issue, is this the last piece right here because of the driveway of the residential area?
Right. Well, Madam Chair, basically what's going on here, you're right. I'm not sure that, let me just say it this way. We have no problem with this fence as it's constructed. It's at
Right.
least 50 feet away from their curb cut. And as I show you the aerial, you can see that there's an entire residential property, which is about 40 feet or so to the next driveway. So this fence blocks no views from somebody pulling in or coming out. And to tell you the truth, I actually think it's a bonus because it effectively blocks the view of the gas station from the residents. I think they did a nice job on the fence. I'm sorry they didn't pull a permit, but we recommend approval for this.
Okay, because I was getting, there too. Like, I'm like, this is great. If my house was right there, I would love that that fence was blocking everything from the gas station. So,
Yes.
okay.
And I just want to be clear that we normally don't, grant the variances if the fence is close to the driveway, as everybody here is aware. But this one, because it's so far away, there is absolutely no safety issue whatsoever. So we recommend approval.
All right. Board, any questions on this?
Madam Chair, I do have a question. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a
Go
board?
ahead, Liz.
Oh, go ahead, Liz.
Thank you. To the appellant, could he say again on the record, did he state that the city tore down a house next door? Is that why the fence was taken down?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there was an abandoned house and the city finally appointed someone to tear the house down. And there was a fence there that we took care of, like I said, and they tore the fence also with the house, which we still don't know why they did that. The fence was already there. There was a nice greenery that I took care of for years, kept it up. There was no issue there. So I don't know what happened. So one morning I come to work and the whole house is down with the fence.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Just a quick clarification to the appellant. You were saying that there was a hedge, so there was like a hedge where you put the fence up now. Is that right?
Yes, I put what I put exactly. That's where the fence was exactly, and I just re-put it with a wooden, nicer, fence.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Hearing no other questions, Madam Chair, I think we're all in agreement that this is, a good-looking fence, and as Mr. Rulins pointed out, it blocks the sight lines from the next adjacent residence. So, with all that in mind, on calendar number 22-154, I move that we approve the variance for this fence.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Member Brown, I second.
Ms. Brown with the second. Go ahead, call the roll.
Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Vaith,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar number 22-154 is granted. It'll be ratified next week, and then we will send the appellant a letter.
All right, good luck, Mr. Faki, and make sure you get permits next time for fences.
All construction before
Yeah,
starting.
true, but
Good point.
seems like we've been getting a lot of issues with people not realizing about fences in particular, so.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, we did old business. So that concludes BZA for today. Thanks, everybody. Have a good week.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Liz,
Yes.
I need to call and pick your brain about something. I'm trying to help out a friend of mine. When's a good time to reach you?
Actually, I have a minute right now between, now and 11:30 or so.
Okay, all right. Well, let me just get myself reorganized and I'll give you a call.
All right, sounds good. I'll be here.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye, Maurice.